And we learnt what are Faraday's laws of electromagnetism. So let's move from there. So I think I had explained to you that the EMF is equal to minus d phi b by dt. That is rate of change of magnetic flux is equal to EMF. Yes. Oh, we were to do HC Verma questions. Hi, good afternoon. Nilan, I tried to check out your questions, but I'm not able to find them. Okay, we will do HC Verma questions. Okay, just give me 2 minutes. I'll get my book and then we will work out. Yeah. I didn't. Yeah, I'll work out. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll get my book. I have to check. You message me, Nilan, please. I will do them. Yeah, DC Pandey. I don't have DC Pandey. I may have an HC Verma. I'll just check. Yeah, Harish, I answered. Yeah, so we will be solving. You all told HC Verma, so I kept HC Verma. I got one HC Verma. We will solve HC Verma questions. We will solve. That is Bayet-Savart law is what I had told. So let us look at Bayet-Savart law. That is the name of the chapter is magnetic field due to a current. Magnetic field due to a current. Okay, so I mean, I didn't understand. Please sir, the question in PDF format means. You are asking to get the question in PDF format or what format? I'm not able to understand. Okay, so what I can do is this. I will teach EMI. Okay, I will teach EMI, but I will start a separate link for the class at 5 o'clock. Okay, so 5 o'clock I will show. I mean, I will have a separate link for the class. I will give you the link by the end of this class. And then again, those of you who are interested, you come for that. That way it will be easy for everyone. Okay. So I continue to teach EMI, but at 5 o'clock we will have a separate class where we will discuss problems from HC Verma. Is that okay? Yeah, we can do everything we can do. Yes, yes. So that is better. So that those who want to attend can attend. Those who don't want to attend need not attend. Okay. So let's move on. So in the last class, I explained to you that EMF is equal to d phi b by dt. D phi b by dt means d phi b by dt means what? Just a second, okay. Just a minute. Okay, so EMF is minus d phi b by dt. Then I explained to you phi is nothing but b dot a, and Ramesh, today 5 o'clock on Teams, can I have a class? அது பத்தி இன்னொரு கிளாஸ் கேக்குறேன். ஆமா, இப்போ கரண்ட் 12th JEE ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்காங்க. இப்போ கிளாஸ் போயிட்டு இருக்கு. அதே கிளாஸ்ல நீங்க லிங்க் போட்டா பத்தும். ஓகே, நான் சொல்றேன். 12th JEE ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு ஓகே நானா? Now the class is going on. So in the class itself, if you give the link, the job is done. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so b dot a by dt. Now that b dot a can be written as d by dt of ba cos omega t. So from there I can say it is equal to db by dt a cos omega t plus b cos omega t dA by dt plus b a sin omega t into omega. So these are the three potential ways in which an EMF can be induced. So you have one way here where you are changing the magnetic field. You have one way here where you are changing the area associated with the coil. You have one way here where you are changing the angle associated with the area vector. So we will look at these three things. So today's class we will look at changing the magnetic field. Now when you talk of changing the magnetic field of permanent magnets, the magnetic field of permanent magnets cannot be changed. So you can change only the magnetic field of electromagnets. Yeah, the B of electromagnets can be changed. So how do you change this? By changing the current associated with it. So we will talk about that. So the simplest electromagnet that we have already seen is a solenoid. So here you have a solenoid. You connect, let a current I pass through it. So now when a current I passes through it, we know that the flux is equal to total number of turns into magnetic field into area. So I can now say that flux is equal to mu naught. I can make it n squared by L pi r squared into I. So I can say flux is equal to a constant into I. This constant is called the coefficient of self-induction. Why it is called the coefficient of self-induction, we will see that a little later, but that is a constant. We'll simply say it is called the inductance. Okay, So now the EMF induced, EMF is equal to minus d phi by dt. We'll say it is equal to minus L di by dt. So this is an inductor. This is the symbol of an inductor. So an inductor is a coil of wire which looks like a solenoid. Every coil of wire will have a resistance attached to it because it's a coil. It will have a resistance. So this is the inductance L, this is the resistance R, and this is what is the next device that we are going to learn about. So the moment you connect it to a battery, there is a change in EMF here. Because of that change in, there's a change in current. Because of that, there is an EMF induced. So if I apply Kirchhoff's law, E minus L di by dt minus IR is equal to 0. Or I can say E minus IR equals L di by dt. So this is a differential equation. This element here is called an inductor. And we are going to learn about inductors. So if you can make a note here, we will slowly move ahead. So the point that I am trying to make is that the magnetic field of permanent magnets cannot be changed. You can change the magnetic field only of temporary magnets, that is electromagnets, so that you can change the value for I. So a solenoid is an example of an inductor. So we are working with a solenoid. This question is very, very important. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this is what is called as the L. L is the coefficient of self-induction. L is equal to mu naught N squared by L pi R squared. So it depends upon the magnetic properties of the medium, exactly like capacitance. It depends upon the magnetic properties of the medium, and it depends upon the geometrical aspects. It depends upon geometrical aspects. Okay. What is an inductor? A helical coil of wire is an inductor. A helical coil of wire is an inductor. We are going to see what it is. We are going to see. It's a solenoid. It's an electromagnet. So when you pass current through it, it behaves like a magnet. So that is a solenoid. That's a inductor. There is no third slide. Yeah. So I'll do that again. I'll do this again. Okay. So this element here, a helical coil of wire, is an inductor. Okay. Now because it's a coil of wire, it will always have some resistance. Whatever it is, it will always have some resistance. Now suppose you connect it to a DC source. Whenever we have any electrical component, we want to connect it to DC and then see what happens. So I've connected it to a DC. Okay. Now at t is equal to 0, do you understand I is equal to 0? I have not yet connected this. Now, the moment the time starts ticking when I have connected this, do you see that I will not be equal to 0? Now, because I is not equal to 0, do you see there will be a changing I? Because there is a changing I, do you see there will be a di by dt? Yeah, because there is a changing I, you will see a di by dt. And because of that di by dt, you will have an EMF induced, L di by dt. Okay. So now I'm applying Kirchhoff's law to this loop. So if I apply Kirchhoff's law to this loop, here the potential is E minus here L di by dt minus IR is equal to 0. Or I'll say E is equal to L di by dt plus IR. This is the equation, a Kirchhoff's law equation. Now, because it has a di by dt, it's a differential equation. Okay, so because it's a differential equation, I will be able to solve it. So I want to solve it to see what it means. Yeah, is it understood? Okay. So if you guys understand this, then let's move on. So now I got equation here. So I would like to solve it, show my math skills and solve it. So I can say E minus IR is equal to L di by dt. So now I'll take dt to this side. I'll write it as L by E minus IR di. So this is how you solve a differential equation, by separating the variables. So we will call this solving differential equations. Differential equations are called DE by variable separable method. Variable separable method. That means you are separating the variables and then we are going to solve it. So now we'll integrate on both sides. So here time goes from 0 to t, here current goes from 0 to I. So now when I solve this, I'll get t is equal to minus L by R ln of E minus IR. I know little differentiation integration. You also have to learn differentiation equation integration. Should not wait for your teacher to teach, because in physics you need it. So integral of a reciprocal function is a ln function. This step alone, I request you to mug it up. Those of you who know it, great. Those of you who don't know it, don't worry, you will learn it later. Okay. Now the limits of the integral are from 0 to I. The limits here is okay. So now this will give me minus L by R ln E minus IR minus ln E, because I will become 0. So that is log A minus log B. Log A minus log B. So log A minus log B can be written as log of A by B. So minus L by R, I will write it as log to the base E minus IR by E. This log to the base E is also written as ln. Whenever you integrate, you get that. So those of us who are not comfortable with that, please make sure that we are getting it. So I can say now that t is equal to this much. So this, now I have to sit down and analyze what it means. So mathematics is over. Now we will analyze what it means for every year. Yeah. So here is the link for the 5 o'clock session on doing questions from HC Verma. We will be doing 10 to 15 questions. We will do from HC Verma today, 1 o'clock. Yeah. Videsh, I just did some maths here. Nothing else. I got Kirchhoff's law here, Kirchhoff's law equation. After writing the equation, I found out this, the variable separable method of solving equations. So I put all the i's on one side and I put all the t's on one side. L is a constant, doesn't matter. So I integrated this, so I got this. Then I integrated this again, I got this. I put the limits, I got this, I rearranged it. Okay. Conceptually, what happens is that if you take an inductor at time t is equal to 0, there is no current. The moment the circuit is on, the current starts. So the moment the current starts, there is a di by dt. Now because there is a di by dt, there will be an L di by dt. So now I am going to write Kirchhoff's law equation. So here there is a gain in potential E. Here there is a loss in potential minus L di by dt. Here also there is a loss in potential minus IR. So gain in potential must be equal to loss in potential. So gain in potential minus loss in potential is equal to 0. So I wrote this particular thing. Okay. Yes. So make notes here. Make notes here. Please work with your notebook. There is nothing to hear here. Please work with your notebooks. Okay. Sir, in L by R, where did the R come from after integration? That is, I am integrating, no? So, okay. So, let me talk to you this way. Suppose I have log to the base E, log to the base E minus IR. Okay. Can you differentiate this? So the differential of, so we are doing d by di, differentiating it with respect to I. Okay. So when I differentiate it, I will get minus 1 by E minus IR into R. Okay. So now I will take the di to the other side. So integral 1 by E minus IR di will become equal to minus log E minus IR divided by R, because there is this R is coming here and R is a constant, right? So now in the question you had this, so in the answer I put this. Okay, so at least one differentiation or integration, you guys should be champions. The only way you can become a champion is by working. If you wait for teacher to solve, you will always have to wait. Send link to everyone. Is the link sent not to send to everyone? Oh, okay. I will have to send that link to everyone. Okay, how do I do that? Copied, copy. Then I put it here, go to everyone. Then I paste it here. Paste. Here, send to everyone. Okay. So this is the link for the afternoon 5 o'clock class. It is a Teams meeting. Okay, it's a meeting on Teams. Yeah, I will solve 10 to 15 questions from HC Verma. The moment I solve it, I will stop it. Okay, don't talk about that now. Let's talk about how to open it. Just click on that. Oh, I don't know that. How to open it, you are asking. Okay, so better is to, yeah, we need to download Teams, it seems. Yeah, Microsoft Teams is more secure. That's what the government says. Then we can open it, similar to Zoom. Oh, okay, okay, okay. They can join. Okay, very good. Yeah. Sir, if the meeting gets over, which meeting? Okay, Ramesh, put it in Learnity also. Okay, they will see. Fine. No wasting time. Over. Yes, yes, yes. We can proceed. Yeah, please come back. So let's go back here. Let's go back here. Huh? So this is how I do. Hope this integration is clear with you. If the integration is clear, let's go back to the this thing that we had. T is equal to minus L by R log E0 minus IR by E0. E is the EMF. Okay. So now I can say log of E minus IR by E is equal to minus RT by L. Now I'll take exponential function. So I'll see E minus IR by E is equal to E power minus RT by L. So from there I can say that I is equal to, now I'll just rearrange it. I is equal to E by R 1 minus E power minus RT by L. So this is the current in the circuit. I am now just rearranging it, trying to make some meaning out of it. Time is of no meaning to me. The current in the circuit has some meaning to me. So I'm trying to find out what the current in the circuit is. And the current in the circuit looks like this: E by R 1 minus E power minus RT by L. Okay, so this is the current in the circuit. So this is the current in the circuit. Okay, now if this is the current in the circuit, can I see that at t is equal to 0? Suppose t is equal to 0. This is 0, e power 0 is 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0. So suppose t is equal to 0. I have just started the current. I've just started the circuit. The current is 0. Now as time proceeds, the current, this value will increase. So 1 by that value will decrease. So 1 minus some decrease. So the current will increase. So current will increase. Okay. Now suppose the t is infinity. Suppose this is t is infinity. Because of this minus, it will become 1 by infinity, and 1 by infinity is 0. So at infinite time, the current is equal to E by R. So this is I and this is time. Now you can see how the current looks. So the current grows gradually and it reaches a particular value and then remains a constant. Okay, and then it remains a constant. So this is how the current in the solenoid or inductor changes. Current in the inductor changes with time as shown. The current in the inductor changes with time as shown. So this is how the current in the inductor changes. Okay, I'll message you, Nilan, don't worry about it. Now let's focus on this. Okay, is it done? What happens in the absence? There is no question of an absence of an external resistance, because any coil will have some resistance. Whatever it is, it will have some resistance. So now what you are trying to ask is, okay, what if resistance is high, what if resistance is low, and so on. We'll answer. Okay, you are asking what if resistance is high, low, and so on. So those things we will see. If you understand this, if you guys have made notes on this, then we will proceed. Derivation, not very important. Final result, very important. How I drew the graph is very important. I took first t is equal to 0. I took t is equal to 0. Then slowly I increase the value of t. When I increase the value of t, I am seeing that the value of I is also increasing. Then I put t equal to infinity. When I put t is equal to infinity, I am seeing that the current goes up to a particular value. What is that value? E by R. So I wrote it down. Okay. So if you guys understand this, then okay. So if you guys understand this, then let's move on and slowly let us go. So what I'm trying to tell is, I have taken an inductor. I have that inductor will be associated with some resistance, high or low, it will be associated with some resistance. Then I connected it. Then when I connected it, initially the current is 0. Initially at t is equal to 0, I is equal to 0. Then current slowly builds up. Current slowly builds up. Builds up means initially the current is 0 and slowly the current builds up. Okay, do you understand this? Yeah. So now as the current builds up, there is a di by dt, rate of change in current. So there is an EMF induced, minus L di by dt. Yeah. What is the nature of the EMF? Nature of the EMF is such that it tends to oppose. That is why we wrote E minus L di by dt. So here there is going to be a gain, here there is going to be a loss. Yeah. Now because of this negative sign, it is referred to as a back EMF. Because of the negative sign, it is referred to as a back EMF. Back EMF refers to that negative EMF which develops on a solenoid or an inductor when we just connect it to a DC. How does the back EMF look? Back EMF is equal to, or the current is here. The current looks like this. So the back EMF will depend upon the slope of this. And what is the slope at this point? Slope is equal to 0. What is the slope at this point? High. Okay, so this back EMF is high at starting. That the initial part of the circuit, the back EMF is high. In the later parts of the circuit, the back EMF is low. Yeah, because of the negative sign, I am going to treat it exactly like a resistance, and I can say the moment a solenoid is connected, its resistance is high. Because its resistance is high, back EMF is high. Once a steady state is reached, this is what is referred to as the steady state. Why is it called the steady state? The current has reached a steady value. So once it has reached a steady value, di by dt is equal to 0. So the back EMF is 0. So there is no drop in potential. Okay. So here the back EMF is 0. Back EMF is equal to 0. Here the back EMF is high. Are we able to understand this? When an inductor is connected, inductor is nothing but a helical coil of wire, the solenoid that we were talking to in the previous case. So when an inductor is connected to a DC, the current initially at t is equal to 0, I is equal to 0. Now as time proceeds, there is a di by dt. Now the moment there is a di by dt, there will be a minus L di by dt. So that minus, because of the minus, it is called back. The nature of the induced EMF is such that it tends to oppose its cause. Who is its cause? This is its cause. Okay, so the nature of the induced EMF is such that it tends to oppose its cause. So E minus L di by dt minus IR is equal to 0. Now I am rearranging it a little bit, and then I found out that look, I is equal to some E by R 1 minus E power minus RT by L. So now this is the current in the circuit. This is the graph of the current in the circuit. Okay, and I am seeing that this back EMF is not a constant thing. Initially it is very high, subsequently it is very low. So that is an observation which I make. The di by dt, the slope of the curve here is high, the slope of the curve here is low. Okay, so the di by dt has to do with the slope of the curve. Okay, so if you can make some notes, then I will look at your chat. Sir, is inductor and solenoid same? Yes. Can we get questions with a capacitor also included in such circuits? Yes. What is the purpose of connecting an inductor to a circuit where everything is fine? How do you know everything is fine? You don't know if everything is fine, but still it's a question. We will learn it. We will learn it. I will tell you why we need an inductor. Yeah, what happens in the absence? I told you. What is the purpose of connecting an inductor? Question, we will keep that pending. We will answer that subsequently. Can we get inductor? Inductor, a choke coil is an inductor. Now a choke coil is used everywhere, from your batteries to everywhere. And nowadays you have electronic chokes, and I mean you have counterparts, electronic counterparts for everything. But earlier days we didn't have all that, so we need to know about them. Still, you have a lot of machines where you use coils of wire, so we need to know how a coil of wire will behave when connected to a DC. So this is how a coil of wire behaves when connected to a DC. Inductor and solenoid the same? I answered yes, there is no difference between them. Yeah, it will reduce the potential in the circuit, so that itself is a use of a inductor. What time constant affect this? Will time constant, we have to see, we have not yet reached there. So do electromagnets lose the EMF in passage of time? Yeah, they are elements of the circuit. So it's not about losing an EMF. There is a potential drop across a electromagnet. Are these concepts important for boards? Yes, this concept is very important for board. Back EMF is very important. They will ask you, why is it called back EMF? The mathematics is not important. The mathematics is not important. The rest of it is important. Okay, the mathematics is important. It is only the rest of it which is important. So this was the first slide. This is the second slide. This is the third slide. This is the fourth slide. This is the fifth slide. This is the sixth one. This is the 7th one. And here is the 8th one. This slide is important for the boards. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so this slide is very important for the boards. Okay, so I'll summarize whatever we have learned so far. So I have taken a coil. Okay, I have taken a coil, and then it has a resistance, so I separated the two, and then I connected it to a DC. Okay, now when I connected it to a DC, do you see that an EMF is induced in the coil? An EMF is induced. Why is an EMF induced? An EMF is induced because of a varying current, because of a time dependent current, because of a time dependent current in itself. So because of a time dependent current in itself, EMF is changing, right? So this such an EMF, basically what I can say is that EMF is proportional to di by dt and is equal to minus L di by dt. Where is the di by dt happening? In itself. So this is called the coefficient of self-induction. Because of a varying current in itself, it has given rise to a EMF. So it is called coefficient of self-induction. Coefficient of self-induction is a scalar quantity. Its unit is Henry, Henry, Henry. Its unit is Henry. Okay, so now in such a case, there is a time dependent current which develops, and I is equal to E by R 1 minus E power minus RT by L. Now there is a fundamental concept in physics that any exponent is dimensionless. So minus RT by L is dimensionless. So T has the same dimensions as L by R. Now this is an important question which can come as a 1 mark. What are the dimensions of L by R? So the dimensions of L by R are same as that of time. Dimensions of L by R are same as that of time. Okay, so dimensions of L by R are same as that of time. Okay, and yeah. So such a coil is called an inductor. Okay. Yeah, Subiksha, you guys have to work a lot on your math skills. Basically, I will tell you one thing. If you guys are serious about JEE, you guys have to put in a lot more effort. it doesn't come because everything in JE can't be taught. So you guys have to work it out. Okay, anyway, I is equal to E by R 1 minus E power minus RT by L. Okay, so this is the current. Yeah. So now if this is the current, I first put T is equal to 0. So when I put T is equal to 0, I'll get E by R 1 minus E power minus 0. Anything power 0 is how much? 1. So 1 minus 1. So how much is 1 minus 1? So 1 minus 1 will be here. Okay. Now I'm slowly increasing the value. T is suppose 1 second. So it becomes what? Equal to E by R 1 minus E power minus R by L. So that is E by R 1 minus 1 negative. Negative will become E by R by L. So this is some value. Then after some time it will become T is equal to 2. So it will become 2R by L. So now this will become even smaller. So the current will go up. So now the current is going. Now is this linear? This is not linear. This is some kind of exponential. So I can't draw a straight line. I will draw a curved line. Then I put T is equal to infinity because that's the worst case that can happen, infinite time. Then I'll get E by R 1 minus, if I put infinity, this whole thing becomes infinity. So it becomes 1 by E power infinity. E power infinity will become infinity. So 1 by infinity is 0. Then that means what? I will become equal to E by R. So if I becomes E by R, so it goes and it takes a steady value. Now that steady value is basically E by R. So we call that the steady state. Okay, so that is referred to as the steady state. Okay, so now if you guys understand this, I hope now the term back EMF is understood. So when an inductor, see, we are just calling it a new name, it is a solenoid. So the application of this will be in the applications of electromagnets mostly. Okay, when an inductor is connected to a DC, we see that it offers high resistance initially. Over period of time, the resistance decreases till it becomes 0. In the steady state, di by dt is equal to 0. Now, because di by dt is equal to 0, the EMF induced is also equal to 0. Here, di by dt is high. So, EMF induced is also high. Okay. Now, yeah. So, if you are able to get this, we will move ahead. Now, what is happening is you have an inductor, and in the inductor, there is a potential drop across the inductor. That potential drop E is equal to L di by dt. So, this is equal to potential drop. Potential drop across inductor. Now, if a current I is passing, can I say that the power across inductor, there's a power loss, so that will become equal to L di by dt into I, because power is equal to what? Power is equal to V into I. So that is a power loss. Yeah. Now, if that is the power loss, can I say the energy loss in time dt will become equal to L I di by dt into dt, dt cancel. So that is equal to L I di. What is this L I di? That is the apparent energy loss across inductor. Now this was the inductor. So the energy loss across the inductor is L I di. That is a dE. So if I want to know total energy loss in some time, it will become equal to integral of Li di. So what is this? This is equal to half Li squared. That means in the previous case, when the battery was connected to the inductor and the battery started charging, the battery started passing some current through the inductor, first the current took time to grow. Now, not only did the current take time to grow, we saw that there is some amount of energy loss across the inductor. Now, what is that amount of energy loss? That energy loss across the inductor seems to be half Li squared. Now, is it really a loss? So what actually is happening is an inductor, which is a solenoid, is generating a magnetic field around it. So now when it is generating a magnetic field, you need some energy. So what is the energy which is being spent to generate the magnetic field? This is the energy that is being spent. So what is happening in an inductor? In an inductor, because it's a solenoid, a very strong magnetic field is getting generated within the inductor, and there is energy stored in the inductor. That energy is basically equal to half Li squared. So direct 2-mark question you will get in your board. What is the energy stored in an inductor? Or an inductor is connected to a DC, derive an expression to show the amount of energy stored. So this is the amount of energy stored in the inductor. So the EMF is equal to L di by dt. Now the power is equal to VI. So it is L di by dt into I. Energy is P dt. So we multiplied it by dt, dt cancels. So this is the energy stored in small interval of in a very small interval of time. So total energy stored when the current was 0 to current is I is equal to half Li square. So what is happening in a solenoid? In a solenoid, now energy is getting stored. You had a capacitor where energy was being stored in an electric field. Now you have an inductor where energy is being stored in a magnetic field. Now the moment you have this, now you have some more applications of a solenoid. It can be used as a device to store up energy. Yeah, and here the energy is stored in the form of a magnetic field. Yeah. So if this is understood, please explain how to plot. I explained that to you. Okay. Any other questions you all have? So if it is understood, then we will move ahead. Please work in your notes. Please don't depend on taking photos at the end of it. Yeah, please do this immediately. Try to write your notes. Yeah. So if you understood this, I won't all. Just now I showed slide. All the time you guys keep saying show slides, show slides. Which slide do you want to see? Recording is there. Don't worry about it. Which slide do you want to see? Yeah, I showed till 8. So here is 8. 9. 10. This is 11. So this is the energy stored in the inductor. So what is happening in an inductor? So you have an inductor here, which is nothing but a solenoid. So what is happening is there is a magnetic field because of this wire. There is a magnetic field because of the neighboring wire. And all these magnetic fields are parallel. As a result, there is a addition of magnetic fields. and a very strong magnetic field is generated inside, which goes parallel to the axis of the solenoid. So there is a strong magnetic field. Why is it strong? Because there are so many turns. The B of each turn gets added on. The magnetic field of each turn gets added on. As a result, a very strong magnetic field is generated. Energy stored in that magnetic field is half Li square. Compare that with the energy stored in a capacitor, half CV squared. So this is a device where energy is stored in an electric field. This is a device where energy is stored in a magnetic field. Here energy is stored in a magnetic field. Here energy is stored in a electric field. Okay. Yes, Pragadish, is it clear? Okay, so now if you guys understand this, then I told you there was a question, what if the resistance is 0? Well, you don't have a concept of resistance is equal to 0, it will have some resistance. So I said I is equal to E0 by R into 1 minus e power minus RT by L. Okay, so this L by R is called the time constant. L by R is the time constant. Suppose T is equal to L by R, then I is equal to E0 by R into 1 minus e power minus R into L by R into L. So that is equal to E0 by R into 1 minus 1 upon E. So when I work this out, it becomes E0 by R, E minus 1 by E. And what is this E minus 1 by E? That is the current in the circuit. Okay. So now this current in the circuit is approximately 2.7. So this is approximately 1.7. So I can do some small multiplications here and see that it is approximately some 62 or 63%. So that is the definition of one time constant. One time constant, which is equal to L by R, refers to the time after which the current in the circuit is 60, whatever this number is. Okay, I'm just assuming it is 63%. You are going to find out 63% of the peak current. Yeah, so if I draw this here, this is the current versus this thing. I draw my 63%. Yes, this is the time constant. This is the time constant. Yeah, now if R is less, what will happen to the time constant? So the time constant will be high. Suppose you have an ideal inductor. Ideal inductor R will become 0. So an ideal inductor will take infinite time to get really charged. Okay, for the steady state to come. Once steady state has come, we say the inductor is charged. This is the charged state. Borrowing definitions from classes. Okay, so if you have ideal inductor, this is a 1 mark question. Ideal inductor will have R value equal to 0. So if R value is 0, it takes infinite time. infinite time to get charge. Okay, so it takes infinite time to get charged. So that's what we are talking of. Okay, 1 minute, I'll be back. Hey, focus on what I'm doing right now. Isn't this IMAX? What is this IMAX? No idea, no clue. The EMF is induced when wire is moved relative to a magnetic field. So if an EMF is given to a solenoid, magnetic field is induced, generated. But when we are solving the differential equation and graphs, we said that EMF is induced. I didn't get it. I don't get what you are trying to say. An EMF is induced when a wire is moved. Yeah. So there is a back EMF even here. Same induction is taking place. Back EMF is there. So what is your problem? Yeah, an EMF is induced because there is a varying current. Because of the varying current, an EMF is induced. Yeah, the current through the solenoid changes. Because the current through the solenoid changes, an EMF is induced. And this EMF is a back EMF. It opposes the external EMF. So we just wrote Kirchhoff's laws and then we worked. Okay. Yeah, back EMF is induced in the same coil where the magnetic field is induced. Yes, it is possible. We have just shown that it is possible. Okay, so if this is understood, a lot of what we were to do is done. Oh, I have exceeded my class timing. Okay, so good, done. So this is what I wanted to teach today. Okay. Yeah. The link is there in Learnity also. You can check it up. Why you are not able to copy it? I copied it. I copied it here. I copied it. And then I sent it to whom do you want me to send it? Pradyum. Raise your hands, I will send to you. Yeah, you guys didn't get it or what? So the Android version of Zoom is not copying, supporting us to copy. Okay, so that is the problem. Okay, those of you who didn't get it, message me. I will send. Or you message Nilan. He has got it. Yeah. Okay. Bye bye. See you at 5 o'clock. I don't have much time to relax also now. Yeah. It's actually a big pain. Taking these online classes is a very big pain. Last slide alone. Last slide alone. Here it is. I will show you all the slides. I have no problem. Here is the last slide. I will show you all slides. Whoever wants to see. Here is the last slide. I'll go from the back. Okay, 13. This is 12. This is 11. This is 10. This is 9. This is 8. Seven. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Okay. Okay, bye. Enjoy. See you guys again. Yeah.